Now we're going to take a look at the message viewer. I've created a new fax and sent it, scheduled it on hold. So we're going to use that as our sample. So we can get to the message viewer just by double clicking on the fax. And let's shrink it to fit here. And the first thing you'll see is there are thumbnail previews of each page in the fax on the left side. On the right side is the image of the page that you've selected. Obviously, by default, the first page is selected. You can switch pages just by clicking on them. You can also choose the drop-down page number list here to change pages. When you're looking at a page, you can rotate it either left or right, or flip it vertically. And this is important because you use the fax viewer to look at faxes, not just that you're going to send, obviously, but those that you've received. And we've all received faxes that have come upside down, or they send you something that's in landscape mode that you actually want to view without turning your head or your monitor 90 degrees one way or the other. You can zoom in and zoom out. And that is the fundamentals of it. Now, if you look over on the left side, you see there are two flyouts. There's message details and actions. If we mouse over message details and click on it, we'll see some of the basic information: when the fax was created, what its current status is, what the message number is, any tracking info that was put on the fax. I didn't put any in. And then you have two radio buttons that allow you to choose whether you want to view the image itself, like we are now, or view the fax details. If we go over to details, we can see some general information about the fax, who the sender of it was, whether it's inbound or outbound, the basic information of it. And then you can see the number of documents, how many times it's failed in trying to send it, was it completed, and we have one in process because a fax on hold is in process. And we have the create date, when the fax was created, and the schedule date. If this fax was held until a certain time to send, that would show up there. And then obviously completed date will fill out once the fax has been completed. Now, bringing up message details again, we can see that there is a recipient underneath here. And if there were multiple recipients, they would all be listed. And when we click on the recipient and move over to the right, we can see the details about that recipient and the attempts for that recipient. Now, what's nice is when you have a fax that's gone out, all of the attempts will show underneath. You'll have another subset of information that you can click on, so that if it failed twice and then went through on the last try, you could click on the failures and see what happened. Since this one hasn't even been sent yet, we don't have anything underneath. The other tab, let's go ahead and flip back to looking at the images because they're far prettier. The other tab we have available is the Actions tab. Most of these are pretty self-explanatory. You can print the fax, you can save it to your desktop or to a server, you can forward it to a user within the FaxCore system, you can resend the fax if it's one that's been sent. In this case, we can hit resume, which will approve the fax to be sent, or we can hit cancel since this is a fax on hold. Now, if we just shrink this window a little bit here, we can see in the background, we see the on hold message for this fax. So let's go into cancel because I don't want to actually send this fax. We'll hit cancel, yes, and then as you can see, the background refresh, the fax is no longer showing in the hold folder. If we go into canceled, there's the canceled fax. If we go to sent, remember what I said about sent. No matter what you do, whether the fax succeeds or fails, it will show up in sent. And so there is the canceled fax that we just canceled.